Welcome back, everybody. Remember that the National Arts Festival has already kick-started in Makhanda in the Eastern Cape, and we cross back to our reporter Zolani Moya. And Zolani, very good morning to you. Over to you.
A very good morning to you. Yes, we are indeed crossing live here in Makhanda. It's the National Arts Festival. Well, we are based in the township where residents in Makhanda have raised different emotions. Some have raised their unhappiness. I'm saying that organizers have not yet done enough, to promote arts and culture. But with me here, I have Gwen Mvula, who is going to speak on her personal capacity. Miss Mvula, just tell me, as a resident of Makhanda, how has the festival been for you thus far?
Thank you very much. Good morning, South Africa. Festival, it's at its first inception, it has not been accessible to people. For starters, it was meant for the elite. But as the time moves on, it became the other disadvantaged people. They access it, but not to the utmost consideration of others. Festival is for the other people who afford. The have-nots has not been accessing its festival. I want to cite one example. The festival is based in town. Most of the residents which are coming from the previously disadvantaged area, they could not access even a 12-rand taxi to go to town to look what is happening in the festival. Take into cognizance that these people are unemployed, they are very low financially, and it takes them time to travel from Joza or Extension 7 to go to Rhodes University or Vichy, where festival is. I'm speaking in the context of just seeing what is happening in Grahamstown. Speaking on shows and other events, it's quite expensive to be accessible by the people who don't have money. And also the shows, and because the festival, it took its time to go to the disadvantaged area. For example, I can cite Ijoza at Nombulelo, where is a theatre, and also at Nolutando Hall. But the shows that are brought to those places are the shows that are free, and they don't have much people to go and attend because it is not marketed properly. The festival, it's not meant for even the local artists in Grahamstown. They don't have access to festival.
Not only that, but how is the mood here in the township?
Oh, the mood in the township, it's normal. It's like the day like yesterday, because there is not that vibe anymore that there is festival. If I can speak for the festival itself, its standards is no longer as the same, because during festival there would be even people around the country, even abroad, would come and around with taxis and going to the township. No longer, they don't do those things anymore.
But the organizers have done a good job, thus far in terms of marketing this festival internationally. But what advice would you give to them next year going forward?
Do you know that charity begins at home? I should think if the organizers could go to those level people in Grahamstown, try to rake even the school children who've got the skill to be in theatres, and also the artists in Grahamstown to be pivotal in festival. As much as it brings economy to the town, but by creating jobs, but not to the utmost consideration of all the people from the other side of the town. I would advise that when they are having their marketing of it, in the initial stages, they must sit with the people from Grahamstown and say, what do you want in Grahamstown? What do you anticipate in the festival? What would you think that the festival would do to you? And what kind of festival would you want to be in Grahamstown? I should think people from Grahamstown would raise their views and the perception around the festival.
Thank you so much. That was Gwen Mvula, one of the residents who is based in Grahamstown, basically sharing her personal views with us. With me, Ayanda Kota. Ayanda, born and bred in Grahamstown. Firstly, how has the festival been for you in your own personal capacity?
Well, I think notwithstanding the challenges that we are facing as the city and some of the issues that Reverend Mvula has raised, the sharp contrast between the working class area and the affluent area, I think the festival has demonstrated resilience And the people of city have also demonstrated that resilience to say, despite all the problems, despite that the city is very dispersed, the dysfunctionality of the municipality, I think what we are experiencing is the resilience of the people of the city and the National Arts Festival during this time. That's number one. But number two, I think you have a director in Mr. Tony Lancaster, who's not a politician, who's totally different from his predecessor. He's got an open policy. He's prepared to engage. So I agree with Reverend Gwenvula to say, I think it's very important to engage the working class area, to say we have the festival. How do we make sure the question of accessibility? How do we make sure the issue of, how do we make it a point that the working class areas, the Black Township, do benefit out of this festival? I think that's a very important point that Reverend Gwenvula is raising.
But this is one festival that has major economic spin-offs, and we can't take away the fact that Mr. Tony Lancaster has done a very good job in terms of marketing this festival. But do you think residents of Makhanda are benefiting from it in terms of job creations?
Well, the hawkers do. The accommodation, Makhanda, they do benefit. So you do find people who benefit. But as Reverend Gwenvula have said, not all the people are benefiting. Thus, I'm raising the point or the significance or the importance of the festival committee engaging the working class area. Yes, I agree with you that the director of the festival and the team has done exceedingly well, as I've said, considering that the city is facing so many challenges. So we take our hat off for them. But the question of accessibility and the question of engaging the working class communities, it's quite important. Yes, we also agree that the hawkers, the people of accommodation and not the number of people do benefit. I concur with you. I'm not disputing that fact.
There you have it. They are speaking on their own personal capacity. The program of the festival is jam-packed. It caters, for both young and old. Not only that, but that is what I have here for now in Makhanda. Back to you in Johannesburg.
All right, Zolani, thank you so much for your time.